All right, here we go. It's episode 52 of the Odd G's podcast. It's Harry Mays, Jason Martinez, and we're getting closer to spring, Har.
Yeah,
Doesn't
it's
feel like it,
cold
though.
right now, man. It's freezing. It's like now winter has hit, like we were kind of mild and 60 degrees in February, which was out of whack. And now it's like back into the 30s with a lot of wind. And these next 2.5 weeks look to be pretty grim until we get to April. But we got, the NCAA tournament, the conference tournaments are heating up this week. In fact, today they really get going. Got the Players Championship this week. Augusta's right around the corner. The NFL draft. We got NFL free agency. And the Sixers, just got done with a 5-game road trip where they won 4 out of 5. I happened to catch, bits and pieces of all the games and was pretty impressed.
Are you really jumping in now on the NBA, on the Sixers?
Well, yeah.
I mean,
it's that time of the year now. I mean, they're running down, the final, I don't know how many games, 17 maybe games to go, 15 games to go. And they got a really tough stretch coming down the stretch here with a lot of games like on every other night.
Yeah.
Last night they rested Harden. Now they're going to have, I think, 2 nights off until they come back home and play Portland. But the biggest key for Doc Rivers and that staff is going to be managing the minutes of their 2 stars. And, Harden's long in the tooth, and he had last night off. And after a 20 assist game, he was absolutely amazing in that game against the Indiana Pacers, which reminded you of an old ABA game back in the 70s where both teams are in the 140s. There's no freaking defense, but they've been pretty fun to watch. I gotta be honest. I mean, I go back to, they lost to Boston and Miami at home, and then Dallas on the road. They lost 3 of 4 games, and then they hit this stretch with, starting with Milwaukee, and that was an unbelievable game. I don't know if you saw that, but Harden
the 140-131 game or whatever.
That was in the 130s. That game, the 147-143 was over Indiana, which was the next the next game. But Embiid and Harden became the first pair to score 30 plus and have 10 plus assists since 1979. How about that?
So who did it in 79? That's even pre-Magic.
Yeah, that is pre-Magic. That's back when the Seattle Sonics and the Washington Bullets were towards the top of the league. And the Bullets. But 48 points in the fourth quarter. They trailed by 18 in the third. It's amazing. That's what always amazes me about the NBA is you can see a team, they're just sort of cruising and they're getting beat by 18, 20 points. And all of a sudden they make a run. And it's like a 16-0 run. And you're like, how does the team that they just had you down by 18 go 5 minutes without scoring?
Yeah.
It's just crazy what happens.
And they were good enough earlier to build up a 16 or 18 point lead.
Exactly. And then Milwaukee's, in fact, they're the best team in the league. I mean, they're tops of the East, and then it comes Boston and then the Sixers. But this Niang guy had 4 out of 5 threes in the fourth quarter. And who's been freaking on fire in this road trip from 3 is Maxey.
Yeah.
He is 19.
They need him.
They do. And he's stepping up at the right time. 19 of 33 on the road trip from beyond the arc. That's 57.5%.
Geez, that's ridiculous.
It really is.
Yeah, they need that. They need his shooting and that threat from 3 in the playoffs in a huge way. I've come to the conclusion, you just brought up a great point about the runs in the NBA. And I think the biggest element in team sport, maybe sans baseball a little bit, but in the NBA, in the NFL, we saw it in the playoffs again. And in the NHL, the most important element is momentum. And when you don't have it, getting it, keeping it as long as you can and finding a way to get it back. Because you see these huge comebacks in NBA games all the time, like the start of a second half.
Yeah.
Right? Brett Brown sucked at it, at stemming it. And in the NFL, we saw it in the playoffs this year. Huge comebacks because a team lets their foot off the gas and they can't get it going again. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's really apparent in college sports too, like college football and college basketball. I mean, the field can just get slanted on you real quick, and it just gets out of hand. Because there's, especially in some of these venues, where the stadium just absolutely goes. And it's like when we were talking last week about the Wells Fargo Center, when that place is jumping. You know, we played the audio of the Sixers final couple of seconds there, and it's just like that building just becomes totally alive.
Yeah.
And if you're the opposition, that's tough to stem.
It chokes you out.
Yeah.
And it psychs you out. And we played that Kevin Harlan clip, which was
right.
awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. I've become a firm believer that the best coaches know how to regain momentum, push the right buttons,
call the timeout at the right time. You know what I mean?
Like, say the right thing.
Right.
You know?
Stop the run. Like a college basketball coach, like Jay Wright was brilliant at it.
Awesome.
When the opponent was starting to get some real juice, he'd call that timeout right at the right time and making a substitution or something, and it would totally change it.
Yep. And sometimes you got to bring your guys over and you got to read them the riot act.
Yeah.
You got to chew out some asses,
Right.
Wake them up that way. Other times you got to call them over here and you got to say, boys, just take a deep breath.
Sometimes you don't say anything.
Yeah. Sometimes
the head coach doesn't even say a thing.
Yep. And you go, hey, we're fine.
He's out there working the official for the timeout because he
and
didn't like not getting a call, and then the assistant might be talking to one of the the point guard or whatever, but the head coach says nothing.
Yep. Because sometimes momentum just needs to be interrupted in flow. It's unbelievable. I'm going to do a whole documentary on it, Harry.
Are you?
I think so. I got nothing else to do.
Where are you getting the funding for that?
I don't know.
Okay.
We're going to put together a GoFundMe.
Okay. Yeah, everybody else does. Yeah, why don't we? Right.
Yeah.
But I thought it was key though last night because there was a back-to-back, after the Indiana game, and 4 out of 5 on the road, they ended up being wins, but they didn't have Harden, and they got a big lead because they stepped on the throat of a not so good team. Okay, who really has one player. Gobert did nothing last night. It was all Edwards. But they were able to rest Embiid for the entire fourth quarter. He only played 28 minutes and scored 39 points.
Yeah.
In 28 minutes, 4 for 4 from 3, and they were able to rest him the entire fourth quarter. I thought that was huge.
Yeah, that's efficiency right there.
Yeah.
Now you got me. God damn it, you got me all pumped up for the NBA playoffs.
Exactly right.
A month away.
Dude, you see what the Knicks have done? They just lost last night for their first time in 10 games. They had a 9-game winning streak. The Sixers stopped a 16-game winning streak by the Bucks the other night. And now the Boston Celtics have lost 3 straight. So everything's starting to shift here. It's going to be a great finish. I'm telling you. Get on board.
Yeah, the NBA is compelling once again. We'll see what the Sixers can do come playoff time, because this is all well and good.
Mm-hmm.
But what they are able to do in the first and second round, if they can get past that second round finally.
Probably the Celtics. They probably have Boston in the second round. I mean, that's going to be a Titanic series. But I got to ask you now, because we just, since we last spoke, the trade deadline has come and gone in the NHL.
Is that right, Har?
And there was much hand-wringing over the weekend about a trade that didn't go down for the Philadelphia Flyers.
Yeah, JVR is
so
still
take us inside here.
Well, I mean, I think there's a couple things at play. Number one, I think that the market and for JVR was very thin, because the teams that are looking to add are all pretty set in their top 6, right? If they're buying, they're going, okay, we need some depth help, or we need this, but JVR, if he's not playing in your top 6, is rather ineffective at this point in his career. He's not a checking player. He's got to play with other talent. You can't put him on a fourth line and play him 8 to 10 minutes and get anything out of it, especially for the cap hit of $7 million. Now, the Flyers would eat half of that, so 3.5, coupled with that's a hard cap hit to fit on a really good team.
Right.
And they weren't able to trade him. Now, Chuck Fletcher said they didn't have any offers until 1:40 on deadline day. I think there was probably some, in his case, overvaluing the player, and maybe moving him a week earlier would have been more prudent. But he was trying to drive a market, and it didn't happen, and it's caused all hell to break loose.
Well, I saw, or I read, I believe it was Crossing Broad, where he got booed at a charity function by Flyers fans.
Yeah, season ticket
shortly after.
Event.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was inappropriate.
Did you?
Yeah, I think the time and place. You're at an event. I know, I get it. It might be the only time that fan gets to be within earshot of him, and I'm going to give him my 2 cents. But
we'll ask him a question because it is a forum. You can ask the question.
Okay,
yeah.
You can ask. But I heard he got booed.
Oh, he did. Yeah, and Coachy was kind of laying into the people because he was the MC of the event.
Oh, he was.
Yeah. So, absolutely spectacular. National Hockey League. He's never said NHL in his life. Harry.
No.
It's National Hockey League.
But where do they go going forward now? What's their plan to increase the talent level on this roster?
Well, first of all, you got the NHL draft lottery. They're going to have a rough 18-game finish here because they got a tough schedule.
Okay.
And they don't have a ton of talent, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's going to be rough down the stretch. They can finish with a bottom 5 worst record in the league. And you see where a player, what you can accomplish here in the lottery, because it's not just Bedard. There's other really good players in this 2023 draft. Torts keeps using the term addition by subtraction, but I don't know what that means in team sport. Because it's the guy that you're getting rid of. Like at the office, we can get rid of dead weight at the radio station, Harry.
Right.
And go, yeah, we're more efficient now. That's addition by subtraction.
Well, it's kind of like Temple basketball. They lost their quote unquote star player, and I actually think they're a better team without him.
Yeah.
He destroyed the team dynamic. Yeah.
So you look at it and you go, okay, what is addition? Now, is the addition for, say, addition by subtraction is Kevin Hayes. Is the guy that you replace him with going to give you the same point production? Is he younger, cheaper? What does that mean? So
right.
I got to ask Torts about that.
Right. How do you quantify that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can say addition by subtraction, but it's my contention, Harry, that this team cannot take a step backwards next year. You have to be on an ascension. I don't know how steep it is. It might be like this, but it can't be back down like that, especially when you've been pointing to this draft in 2023. You can't be worse next year in a inferior draft than this year.
Right.
That's just my opinion.
You know what's never worse?
What?
It's always better. The fudge that you get at the Original Fudge Kitchen, the official sponsor of Not For Long Media and the OG's podcast. The Original Fudge Kitchen, of course, a staple of the Jersey Shore. 6 locations: Cape May, Wildwood, Stone Harbor, Ocean City. The Original Fudge Kitchen makes all of their fudge and sweet treats right in the store, guaranteeing a delicious product. So stop by and let them know that N4L sent you. If you're not able to visit in person, not a problem. They'll ship it across the USA. Be sure to check them out at fudgekitchens.com. The Original Fudge Kitchen, shipping fudge and sweet treats across the country.
Yeah, I just booked our beach house for the week of last week of June to July 1st, I think so.
Oh, yeah? During my birthday time.
Yeah. We're going down to celebrate, huh?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Bring the whole family down. Speaking
the old
of,
lady's going to get buckled on the beach.
Oh, the pen in the hand, Harry. Speaking of emceeing a Flyers event, I'll be emceeing one tonight.
No.
A season ticket holder event with check out this lineup of people that I have to do it with. Dave Schultz, the Hammer.
Love the Hammer.
Not beat the Hammer.
Not beat the Hammer, exactly.
Mark Howe, NHL Hockey Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Legend.
Yep. Eric Lindros.
Really?
Yes. Dorney, Gary Dornhofer.
Oh, yes.
And Jimmy Watson.
Oh, man.
The brothers Watson.
That is a crew.
So I'll be hanging with them tonight doing a little Q&A at Wells Fargo for some season ticket holders in the East Food Hall. Yeah. Tonight at 5 o'clock, I got to get there.
Now, how many season ticket holders will be in here?
I don't know.
I mean,
Probably
is it
just
a certain number, or is it anybody and everybody that has a season ticket can go?
I think that I'm not sure how to do that, but there'll probably be a couple hundred people there in the, and we'll do a Q&A and we'll talk to all those. What a plethora of different kind of skill sets there.
Yeah.
The sheer brawn and brute force of the Hammer and Lindros, the finesse and skating and hockey IQ of Mark Howe and Jimmy Watson on that blue line. It's like a great lineup. I guess I'm the goaler.
There's no game today either, so that's just a standalone event?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'll be down there tonight. I'm looking forward to that. Hanging out.
Now, is that a paid gig? Do you get paid for that? Is that part of your stipend that you get from the organization?
That's part of my deal.
Okay.
That I hang with the Hall of Famers.
Okay.
So, yeah, not bad. It'll be a fun time tonight.
That will be nice.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that and talk to those guys, tape a couple maybe interviews for the old podcast while I'm there, Knock out two birds with one stone.
Mhm.
Real quick, did you see Stephen A. and what happened on First Take? Was it First? Yeah, First Take, right?
I didn't see it. I don't watch First Take, although I know that they're doing anything they can to get people to pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Whenever they need
I have
something,
a good one.
they'll go race. I heard that Reddick and Perkins got into it the other day. It might have been yesterday about race. So it's a slow time for them too. They're kind of in the lull after football. Yeah, after football, pre-draft, pre-playoffs, it's kind of boring. So they need to spice it up.
Well, we know that ESPN and TNT are the rights holders for the national broadcast for the NHL.
Correct. And I think it's horrible, by the way, the way it's split up. I used to love it when it was on NBC Sports Network because I thought they did a great job. And I always knew where to go to get hockey. Now it's like, what nights are they on TNT? What night? It's like it's all thrown all over the place. And then I guess you have it on ABC on the weekends. Now they're doing the weekend games are
Flyers play 3:30 in Pittsburgh on ABC.
Oh, they do? That made is that is that a national game or is that just a regional?
No, that's a national game.
That's a national game. Wow.
On Saturday.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's just it requires me to work harder to find the games.
Yeah, and you're not about that, and I'm not about that.
Yeah.
So with ESPN being one of the national rights holders, this event happened on First Take. So let me play this for you, Harry. I'm gonna get your thoughts on this.
Is this Michael K too?
This is Michael K.
Yeah, K.
All right, so here we go.
Some good.
I have a good one. I think it's an interesting one. Which team in New York do you think wins a championship next?
Rangers. Oh, Lord. Come on, Patrick Kane
They
is
don't
able.
count. They don't count. Take
They
it
don't
out.
count.
They don't count,
count.
Harry.
Whoa.
Hockey is
She
a
said they
flag.
don't count.
And I love Gary Bettman. That's my.
Yeah, but
Hold on. Is that Molly Karam?
yeah, I think
Because
so.
she used to host it. It looks like her. She was married to Jalen Rose.
Yeah.
So I thought Stephen A said they don't count.
No. Well, listen, Stephen A's reaction when he says the Rangers.
They don't count. They don't
Let me
count.
go back.
Take
They
it
don't
out. Which team in New York do you think wins a championship next?
Rangers. Oh, Lord. Come on, Patrick.
I mean, that is a Harry Mays. No one cares about hockey. Oh, Lord.
Well, right, but it's not, he's not saying he didn't jump in there and say they don't count. They don't count. I loved how Kay steps out there and goes Rangers.
Yep. He's probably right.
He's probably right. Yeah.
Yes.
Because
I mean,
the
they're a
Knicks
good
aren't
team.
winning a championship before anybody else, any of the baseball teams.
Nope.
The Giants, and now if the Jets got Aaron Rodgers and suddenly became not the Jets, there's a possibility.
Yeah, but there's the problem. They're still the Jets.
Yeah, right. The
Not
Giants
Benny
making
and
all
the
these
Jets.
The Giants are, an improved club, but they're not there yet either.
No.
And now the Yankees and Mets are two of the favorites to meet in the World Series.
Yeah. Subway Series.
And he's Mr. Yankee, Michael K.
Yeah.
So the fact that he goes Rangers was kind of surprising to me.
But the Rangers have a chance to win a championship before the baseball all-star break.
Okay.
The cup will be handed out in June.
Well, right. But I'm saying,
So,
that would be they have to win it this year.
yeah. Well, I mean, look, they just loaded up.
Right.
They go out and they get
they got-
Tarasenko.
they already had
Kaner.
they already had the bread man, right?
Yeah, they got the bread man. They got Dobby because of Zibanejad.
Yeah.
they
He's
got
one of
some
the
good-
ugliest players in the planet.
Well, he is hideous.
I'm
looking, isn't he?
seriously. Him and Voracek together would have been like the two ugliest guys to ever play hockey.
Yeah.
No
You would-
disrespect.
Yeah. Well, Jake's done. He's
Yeah, I know.
it's cooked for him. But you're right.
But I
But
mean, do
it's a
you
good
think it was
team.
set? My point is what I'm getting at here. I apologize. Is do you think it was kind of a setup where I'm going to come in here and say Rangers, and then you guys are going to react with disdain and like, oh, are you serious?
See, that could be the case. I don't put that past the show like First Take because I think
Right.
it's all
Contrived.
just ridiculous. And yeah,
Yeah,
it's why I don't watch these dumb shows.
correct.
You know,
But that
Correct.
was interesting. So it was Molly who said they don't count. See, okay, I'm glad you played that because I always when I read it, it appeared when I just read it fast that it was Stephen A. that said they don't count.
yeah, he was dismissive as well because he's like, "Oh,
Oh, please.
I mean, Quite frankly.
He should have done. Ah, jeez.
Yeah, that's basically what he did. We have to get Stephen A on the program.
Oh man.
Oh God.
Yeah, but they did load up though. I mean, does Patrick Kane have anything left? You think?
Maybe for 1 year, I think.
Yeah, I think he's kind of shot.
Yeah, but in a run, you never know.
Yeah,
he's a depth piece there, so we'll see if they're able to do that or not. But yeah,
wow.
A lot of people in the hockey community were outraged that a rights holder was dismissing the sport.
Well, I mean, you're around these people at these games at night. Like, have you talked to anybody since that came out that expressed that to you personally?
No, I mean, that's just a Twitter outrage for the 20% of the population that's on Twitter and vocal, that likes to bitch.
Right.
So Joey B wants to know, when I switched from to Diet Pepsi from Diet Coke, this is breaking news. I go with the Diet Pepsi because it's $1.50 cheaper at my Costco when I buy the 36 pack here.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How many of those are you consuming in a day? Because that's not good for you.
Two a day. I'm down to
That's
2.
it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm switching to iced tea, Harry.
Iced tea?
Yeah, but I'm very particular. The only iced tea I really like is the Diet Snapple half and half, which is half iced tea, half lemonade.
That's got a lot of sugar in it too, doesn't it?
No, it's sugar free.
Oh, well, then it's got that crap in it that's really bad.
Aspartame.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get off the soda. By my birthday, I'm trying to quit everything. And I've come up with this idea, Harry.
Wait a second. Whoa. You're going to quit dipping?
Everything. Yeah.
And when's the birthday?
March 30th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're gonna make a run at it, Harry.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and I've come up with this idea of a rehab facility for people roughly our age. You got to be north of 40. But it's not a rehab to get rid of drinking or to get rid of, smoking herb or whatever.
Heroin.
No, yeah, it's not like that kind of rehab. It's basically a factory reset for the midlife adult. So you go and week 1, all you do is you can't smoke any weed, you can't drink any alcohol, you detox from caffeine, nicotine, everything. All you eat are vegetables, drink water, and eat, lean meats and sleep.
So basically all I'd have to give up is the vodka.
Yes.
Other than that, I'm basically on that program.
Yeah. And you just get rid of all that stuff, and then you stay there for another 3 or 4 weeks, and you get into a workout routine, and you rebuild, and you come back with a factory reset of your body. It's like doing a defrag on an old computer. Get rid of all your old files and
Yeah, Bruno used to have to do that every 2 weeks on the show.
Yeah,
he'd have to defrag his brain. He
said.
Yeah, put it
along
on
with the iPad.
Yeah,
yeah. So I'm thinking
that's
about
a pretty good idea. Like I'd get involved. I got a buddy who owns a outpatient opioid addiction facilities in the Philadelphia area.
Okay.
I mean, make it sort of a part of that, like a separate wing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we have 2 different. Yeah, we have a wing. So I think that would be very effective and highly successful venture to get into.
I do too, and you'd probably be getting better sleep. But if you're not getting better sleep right now, you don't have to go to a rehab facility. Just get Som Sleep. The scientifically advanced Som stack includes ingredients that are naturally found right now in your body, like GABA, magnesium, and melatonin. We all know that sleep is the best form of recovery. Just ask N4L founder and NFL tight end Colin Thompson. It's helped him take his game to the next level. And it's really simple. All you do is drink 1 serving just 30 minutes before bed, and your body will naturally calm itself down. You'll wake up feeling refreshed and ready to conquer the day. Make sure you check them out at GetSom, GETSOM.com, and use the code JEEZ, JEEZ, for 10% off your order. Get Som Sleep.
See how I am constantly exhausted.
And that's not good.
Yeah, since I had the COVID, about 7-8 weeks ago, I think I have long COVID. I still haven't felt right. I got this long COVID.
Oh, because that's what the news told you.
Yes.
It's
the power of suggestion, Harry.
See, because I don't watch the news, so tell me what long COVID is.
I don't know. It's being exhausted all the time. I don't know if it's COVID related or I'm just fucking just getting run ragged in this hockey season between my kids' teams and running the kids around. I mean, last weekend I literally on the one day drove my kids everywhere. I was from noon until about 9:30, 10 o'clock that night, driving somebody somewhere, hitting an ATM machine to give them fucking cash and picking them up.
Now, what is the old lady doing during all this?
Getting buckled. No condition to drive, Harry.
Exactly right.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm driving around like a chicken with my head cut off. It's insane.
So her plan is get up, start the day, pop an edible so she'd be incapacitated and unable to do all of these things. Yeah. So you have to go do it.
Yeah. So I'm running around like a dick.
Genius.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. I got the long COVID. Joey B says long COVID. Is that the new porn movie?
Yeah, right.
Oh, Very today.
Wow.
It's unbelievable.
But you quit in Copenhagen. I mean, I'm really interested to know about this.
Yeah, I think Copenhagen, now that they're going to hear this on the pod, Har, is going to intervene because they cannot lose me.
Right. The stock price will plummet.
Yeah. Oh my God, yes.
But when I quit Skull. I want to say this was mid-90s.
Yep.
And I did it. I think I've told you this before. I even said it on the air when we were on back in the old place. Is I realized it was nothing to do with the nicotine for me. It was a hand-to-mouth habit.
Oh, big time.
So what I did was instead of, having the little dip jug or whatever, you use bottle, whatever, I would carry around a plastic cup with spring water in it. And I would just drink it.
Just sipping it.
And I'd walk around, at night, I'm watching a basketball game or whatever it is. And I'd have the cup and I'd just, instead of spitting in it, of course, I'm taking a drink. And after about a week and a half, 2 weeks, I beat it.
No, it's a good idea.
So
it's a real good idea.
That's how I did it.
All right.
It's not easy though.
No, it's not.
No,
I've been on the wagon for a long time,
very
long time. Joey B says, Mert, Gary Rossington. Of course, he passed away. Guitarist for Leonard Skinner. Where do you rate him as a guitarist? Rest in peace, Gary. Where do you put, Leonard Skinner's an interesting band, Harry, because there's multiple guitarists in the original.
Yeah. Rossington was one of the founding guys. Who was that other guy? Was it Gaines? He was a young guy. He died in the airplane crash.
Yeah.
He was brilliant. I think it was him, and I think it was maybe him and his sister both died on that. Hold on, let me check. I want to get this right because I thought he was the better guitar player.
Okay.
Let me see. Leonard Skinner. We'll look this up.
Was it? Let me see here. I'm trying to early years, trying to find out everybody that was in the band.
There we go. We'll get members and past members. See band. They take you into a whole other page. I hate to do it.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. Yeah, Teresa Gaines was the sister.
It's the sister.
Yes.
Yeah, her brother
Steve Gaines was the one.
He was brilliant.
Yeah,
he was brilliant. He was better than Rossington, in my opinion.
Okay.
But, Rossington was he had a great sound, a great Southern rock sound. He sort of sounded like Blackfoot too. You remember the band Blackfoot?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, he could get. He had that certain sound with that. He played a Gibson, I think, most of the time. Rossington.
Yeah, Gary. Yep, he did.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. It's So
he was good in that documentary, man. He looked like 40 miles of bad road.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked like a Southern rock musician.
Oh, always had the cowboy hat on.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. He was a Les Paul player. He
right. Yeah.
Tobacco Splash.
Is it a Tobacco Burst?
Yeah, he played that one quite a bit, and
okay,
he played Black One on occasion too. But yeah, maybe a Gold Top on occasion here.
Yeah.
So I don't really rank those guys in Leonard Skinner from that standpoint because there's so many of them. So it's hard.
And they'd play dueling parts, and some of them would, they play the same notes in a different spot on the neck.
Yeah,
and
they
it was sort of
move
like
it
the
up.
Allman Brothers had that thing going with like Dickie Betts and
Mhm.
you know, and there are other guitarists after Glenn
Harmonizing
passed
solos.
away. Yeah, it's great. It's a great sound,
Yeah.
but it's hard to differentiate who's who unless you're watching it.
Yeah, exactly. So
You know?
it's easy to rate guitarists when there's one or two in a band, but when you have so many members like they did, it was the sound was collective. And I don't know how much he wrote,
Right.
you know, what his, if you go, was he the guy responsible for the riffs and solos in That Smell, but not in Freebird?
Right.
You know, I don't know.
Right. And
So-
that he had the Rossington Collins band too after
Yes.
the plane crash, and they had a couple of good songs.
Yeah.
So,
So REP will pour one out.
so
I
all
guess-
the original members are gone now, I guess.
well, there's got to be one, or is there any left?
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
not sure.
Yeah,
I got to watch that documentary that's on, I guess it was Netflix on.
it's
Leonard
good,
Skinner.
really good. Yeah, Ricky
Yeah.
Medlock was part of the band, and he was the Blackfoot guy, I think.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll have to watch that documentary and check it out. I have not watched that one yet.
Yeah.
You want to tell the people about Wealth Advisors, Harry?
Yeah, Wealth Advisory Services. If you don't know them by now, you should. You've been listening to this podcast. We know Paul, Dave, and their entire team have over 100 years of first-class service, working with all different levels of investors across the country. And as pros dedicated to continuing education and a high standard of ethics, they leave nothing to chance at Wealth Advisory Services. They're going to coordinate with other trusted pros to ensure seamless management of all your assets, with services ranging from portfolio management, insurance, tax, estate, retirement planning, and beyond. Bucks County, PA, and Cape May, New Jersey. That's where you'll find them. WealthAdvisoryServices.com, a personalized approach to managing your wealth.
There you go.
Yeah.
What do you got for this weekend, Harry? Is the PGA on event this weekend?
Yeah, the Players, man. It's like
Oh,
the
that's
fifth major,
right.
they call it. Yeah.
Yes.
Great field. You know, only Cam Smith, who won it last year and then since split for Liv, is, you know, the only top golfer that's not in the field.
Yeah.
And, you know, coming off a big week last week, Rory McIlroy had a great week, came close to winning it. I think he's going to win this week. But it's going to be great. It's a great golf course. You know, it's one of those places where they play the same course every year, and you get to know it. Like when you watch it each and every year, it's almost like you've played the holes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like Augusta National. You're like, you know what's coming.
Yep.
It's pretty cool.
Pebble Hair.
Yeah, right. Same thing. I mean, I go through the whole golf course in my mind's eye and plot out the shots.
Yeah. Well,
You know?
you got to be in your glory right now. I mean, it's ready to just totally, you know, golf season is back, which is
Yeah,
the right
yeah.
thing for you. So
Yeah. Now, have you been following this NFL free agency stuff?
not really. No.
I haven't been dialed into it as much as I normally am. Maybe because, you know, I mean, the Eagles have a lot of free agents, and I saw it. I don't know if you saw, but Jimmy Kempski did a really detailed piece in the Philly Voice with his thoughts as to who he thinks is coming back, and it was kind of surprising. I thought a lot of this stuff. Let me see if I can pull this up here.
Gonna be a lot of changes with the Eagles for sure.
Yeah, they have a lot of guys, especially on defense, that are up.
Yeah.
Javon Hargrave, who had a really good year,
Cox.
11 sacks, 60 tackles. Yeah, Fletcher Cox. He actually
Brandon
thinks,
Graham too, right?
Yeah, Brandon Graham too. He actually thinks that Hargrave is going to stay,
Okay.
and projected payday is like $48 million over 3 years. Bradbury, the cornerback, who they picked up, I think he was with the Giants, right? That was a big pickup
Yep.
for Howie Roseman late in the summertime, if I remember. He thinks he's going to go because he's going to get upwards to 3 years and $51 million. And Gardner Johnson, the other cornerback, he thinks he's going to go. He'll get anywhere for 5 years, $75 million he could garner on the free
Jesus.
agent market. Fletcher Cox, you mentioned, he thinks he's going to go too.
Wow.
He thinks that he'll go. He's at that point now where he'll pick up these 1 year deals, maybe with a team that's, you know, another team that can contend. 1 year, $10 million. And we've probably seen the last of Fletcher Cox, according to Jimmy. Isaac Seumalo on the offensive line, been a pretty good player, pretty versatile player, guard, center. He thinks that he's going to go as well.
Jeez.
Miles Sanders from Penn State, he thinks he's out of here.
Yep.
And he thinks he's only going to get 1 year, $5 million projected. But I guess that's too much money for the Eagles right now with a running back. TJ Edwards makes tackles all over the field. He thinks he's going to stay. That's good for the defense. Kaiser White, he thinks will go. Marcus Epps, he thinks is going to stay. The safety.
Howie's got a lot of work to do, Harry.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, Gardner Minshew, he thinks is going to move on somewhere else.
Wow.
Boston Scott, he thinks will stay. And Andre Dillard, remember him, the former first-round pick, the tackle?
Yeah.
Has kind of been a bust here. Really hasn't done much of anything. He thinks he's going to go somewhere else.
Well, Mailata just, you grab him in the 7th round and make him a project, and he fills that spot that Dillard could have had on the left side.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, wow. Yeah. Howie's got a lot of work to do. Let's tell the people about Shots and Giggles, Harry, before we get out of here. Call it a day.
Well, yeah. Here's how we're going to do. We're going to call it a day.
Yeah. I got to start preparing for the Hammer and
man.
Big E and
how does one prepare for the Hammer?
I'm not sure yet. I'll let you know on next week's episode.
Well, it's cold again this week, so it'd be a great time to get down to the southernmost city in the continental United States, Jay. That's Key West, Florida. Our friends over at Shots and Giggles, they are the go-to locals and wannabe locals bar in Key West. Right behind Sloppy Joe's, right next to Tattoos and Scars Saloon, right off Green Street, right in that main drag there. Shots and Giggles is known for its relaxed atmosphere, cold drinks, and always having sports on any of their 5 TVs. So when you're down in the Keys this winter or this spring, stop by Shots and Giggles, hang out with the awesome bartenders, grab a drink from their to-go window, and watch some sports in the southernmost NFC East bar, shotsandgiggles.com. They're also on Facebook and Instagram at Shots and Giggles.
It's one of the places I want to get to.
Yeah,
I've never been to Key West. I got to get down there.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking with the old lady the other day. I said, we got to plan 2 different spots. I wanted to go one south, one north.
Okay.
I want to go down to Key West, Harry, and I want to go to Banff in Alberta.
Oh, wow.
So that's the plan.
Now,
we'll see.
Banff, isn't that like a big national park or something up there? Because it's near Calgary, right?
Yeah, yes.
My sister's been there.
Have you ever seen the photos of Banff, Harry?
Yeah, my sister showed them to me. She was there during the summertime, and it looked awesome.
Oh, it's unbelievable. The color of the water and, the whole thing up there is unreal.
Yeah.
How just beautiful Banff is.
Now, for some reason, I couldn't see you in Key West. I can't picture that.
You can't. What do you mean?
Well, I mean, like, what kind of SPF are we talking here?
Well, I'm fair skinned, but
right. That's what I'm saying.
Can't be out there in the sun, Harry. That's not. I'm not averse to the sunlight. I'm not always in a hockey rink.
Yeah.
I mean, give me a little credit here.
Some people like me think you are.
Yeah, well.
Now, how about this idea? Joey B says sometimes he comes up with some good ones. Buckled hockey moms.
Yeah. That's not bad.
Mert in the minivan but buckled hockey moms could be like a TV show.
Yeah, that could be a reality show, Harry.
Right.
Yeah. I'm going to show you Banff here. I just uploaded a picture. That's our background now is Banff. Let me see if I can go give us a little more.
Now, is that in the Canadian Rockies?
I guess so. Yeah.
I think it would be, right?
Yeah. I mean, look at the color of that water there, Harry.
Yeah. Now, was that a lake? Some sort of lake?
Yeah, it's the foothills of a mountain. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Got to get up there.
Yeah. They got golf up there too, but I think it's only open like 3 months a year.
3 weeks. It's cold up there all the time.
Yeah.
My kind of place.
Wow.
All right, let's wrap it up there, Harry. We'll be back next week for what, episode 53?
53.
We'll see how the tournament gets underway this weekend.
Well, it's actually tonight. Villanova plays tonight. I think they have Georgetown. They should be able to handle them. But they're going to have to, I think they're going to have to win their conference tournament to get in because they're like 500. They're going to have to win the tournament. Temple's going to have to win the tournament, which they won't because they won't be able to get past Houston if they have to play them. So I think we're going to get shut out
Yeah, it's going to be no Big Five in the NCAA tournament.
That's what it's
unbelievable.
looking like. St. Joe's plays today too, but they're not going anywhere.
Yeah,
LaSalle
jeez.
as well. Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Ridiculous, man. All right. That's going to wrap up episode 52. Everybody, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. And we'll be back next week for another brand new episode of the Odds Podcast. Thanks, everybody.